We're live. And I'm not in my studio, so give me a second. I just need to pull this up on my laptop. So I can read your comments. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We got a fire going. Okay, so it does say it's live. Let me just go ahead and mute. Hello. So, wait a minute. Are we live? Are we live on my main channel or my other channel? Let's see what we got going here. Here we go. We got a fire going. I'm here with the doggies. Let's, there we go. I think that's good. Maybe I need to move where I am here. Actually, I didn't realize it was going live this soon, but we're live now, so there's nothing I can do about it. So let me just, got a couple doggies right under my feet. I'll explain why I'm on this in just a second. It's like technology, everything's going wrong that can go wrong. So that's where we're at. I can't read the comments on my phone. It's too small, too far away, so. Let me just, I know this background's not as good as the fire, but there we go. Is that okay? Hopefully. You can see my camera in the back. That looks crappy. I'll just put it down there so you can't really see that anymore. Anyway, now it's getting toasty in here as I'm all like bundled up. I got a fire going. Got the doggies here. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me, we're on the second channel. Okay, you can hear the crackling of the fire maybe? If I got closer to it. I don't have a chair sitting. I don't want to sit on the floor, so I don't want, like, I mean, I could have the fire in the background if I was sitting on the floor, but that would be really uncomfortable for me. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know, because I don't know if these headphones are going to die at some point, but hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay. All right, so I'm not at my my PC downstairs, which is more preferable when I go live. So this is more of a live than a setup planned studio live. This is more of a real live. I'm on my phone. I got it set up. I found the clip, so I got a little tripod here, and I got my my laptop right here, so I can read your questions. Why? Because my internet sucks. I'm gonna go on a little rant here, so if you guys are not cool with rants, then come back in a little bit. But does anybody use Spectrum? Because they suck real bad. I had Spectrum back in 2017 when I was living at my aunt's house, and I had major problems with them then. And, you know, customer service sucked, and I was on the phone for way too many hours on hold trying to get through, and they were just a waste of my time over and over again. So it was so much better and just a relief when I moved back into the house I own, which you normally would see me in, because then I was able to choose. See, it's a monopoly sometimes. You can't choose the internet you want because there might be only one internet available. That's just horrible. So they got you, and they know you need the internet. So then I went to Verizon Fios, and I've been happy with them ever since 2017, all the way until last month when I canceled them and I came to the new place. And the new place, we don't have the option for Fios. So I called up Spectrum. I didn't let them know that there was no Fios in my area. I basically just said, hey, I'm with Fios right now, and I'm just looking if you guys give me a better deal or whatever. and they found out that there's no FiOS in my area, and there were no deals. In fact, I'm paying for the best internet that they have, which is supposed to be the same as what I had at FiOS, which is a gig of internet. When you do what I do for a living, and you stream stuff and you upload videos, you kind of have to rely on good quality internet. So I wasn't, I pay for the best internet. I don't buy the phone lines, I don't buy the TV, I don't need any of that stuff. I just need the internet. So I'm supposed to have a gig of internet, and I've been living here in this house. Even though we closed a month ago, I've only been here for a couple weeks because, as you know, I was unable to move in for a couple weeks. And if you want to know more about that story, you got to watch that first vlog, the house tour. So there I am with, if you're just joining us, hello, welcome to the live stream. So I purchased it. It was, it's like $15 more than what I was paying for the FiOS, and it's just really spotty. I have almost no internet downstairs in my studio, which I kind of a little bit understand because it's the furthest away from the modem, from the router. But, as you saw, that I was able to stream. I got cut off a couple times, and I have been able to upload videos. And now, but the thing is like the closer you are to the internet, the better it is. So I'm supposed to have a gig, and down there I only have like between 7 to 40 is the most I've ever seen. Today it was only at 1 megabyte, and it said my video that I was uploading was going to be 2 hours to upload, and I was like, whoa, I wanted to do a live, I wanted to do a premiere. So I got on my laptop. My laptop, the internet is on the other side of this wall right here. And I'm only getting 400 megabytes, which if I was getting that downstairs, I wouldn't be complaining. I'd be happy because it would work. But up here real close to it, and I'm only getting that, and it keeps dropping. So for instance, when I showed my premiere tonight, as soon as the premiere started, I lost all internet, and I'm right next to the internet. I lost everything, so I turned my phone to cellular data so I could interact with you guys. And not only that, but 2 days ago, I called them, customer service, and literally I was on the phone for an hour and a half, and then somebody got to me and was like, see, if you're calling to order to be a new customer, you're on wait for less than a minute. But once you're a customer, you're on wait for like 2 hours. They don't care about you anymore. I've only been a customer with them for a month, like not even a month, exactly a month. And but when I called, it was a little bit less than a month. So finally someone gets on the line and they start talking to me. And I was completely, even though I'm like so frustrated, completely polite and everything. And she said, can I put you on a brief hold? And I'm like, sure. She puts me on a brief hold and hangs up on me. I don't have the time to be doing this because I'm trying to edit the videos that I'm posting for you guys, the vlogs. I'm still ranting. I'm sorry I'm sorry for the rant, but I have to do this. I have to explain this. So then I called back. Now I'm really frustrated. I called back, and now I'm on hold for 28 minutes before somebody gets on the phone with me. And I'm on the phone with retention. And the first thing I said was, take my phone number, so if I get disconnected, you can call me back, because the last person hung up on me, and I waited for an hour and a half, and I don't have the time to be on hold with you guys. And I told them my situation. I said, look, like, I'm a brand new customer. I've only been with you for less than a month, and you're already like, this is horrible. And I don't want to be one of those guys, but seriously, and I let the lady know that, like, I'm not taking this out on you, but your company, like, well, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, you're a $1 billion company. Of course there's something you can do. Like, you can at least credit me back for the month I wasn't able to use the service. And you even said when I signed up that if I get the service and I'm unsatisfied within 30 days, money back. So I'm asking, like, I'm unsatisfied. And she goes, well, you would have to cancel the service. And I'm like, can I cancel the service and then just redo it? No, you got to wait 60 days for that. I'm like, this is a monopoly. There's no other people I can go to. And they know that. They know that. So she says, after talking to her manager, she can give me back $10. Now I've paid over 150 or 60 with the activation and the first month payment. And I'm like, you know, I do this for a living and I'm not able to do this with the best internet you provide. And you're offering me $10. That's a joke. Anyway, we went back and forth for a while, and then it turned out, you know, $10. So they had a technician scheduled to come to my house today at 5 o'clock. I had a vet appointment with Indy today at noon. I brought him there. We got back from there. I went to my old house. I picked up some things that I left there. See, that's the good thing. My tenants are actually Rachel's brother and his friends. So they're not like strangers to me. They're friends. So yeah, I stopped by there. I picked up some stuff, and I still got to pick up my screen printer. So if you're watching this, like, I got to get back to a few people about the screen printers thing. It's not that I'm trying to ignore. I can't really make any shirts when my screen printer is at a different house. So I'm going to be getting that anyway. But anyway, so I come back here around 3 o'clock after, well, probably even earlier than that, maybe 2 o'clock. And I'm waiting for the rest. You know, I'm waiting. I edited my video and I'm trying to upload it. It's not uploading because the internet is so spotty. I was going to say a bad word, but anyway. So I'm waiting. So I was productive today. I shot some video. I edited a video. I posted a video. We're doing the live right now. And I also installed, you know, a camera on the outside of my house, which was pretty cool. I did it all by myself. And so 5 o'clock comes, and I'm looking out the window. I'm pacing around because I know that I wanna upload the video. I wanna do a premiere. I want people to see this, and I want to be there to be able to do it. So I'm like thinking, like, they're gonna get here at 6. They're gonna get here at 5. They're gonna be out of here by 6. So I get no phone calls at 5 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock comes, and then I get a phone call. Oh, hello. This is a dispatcher for Spectrum. We're running a little late, so we're not going to be there until 7 o'clock. So I'm just like, you know, I don't yell at them. I'm, you know, perfectly like polite. I'm just like, okay, 7 o'clock, okay. So now I'm waiting again, and I'm waiting for the video to upload, and it tells me it's going to be an hour and 58 minutes. And I'm like, what? This is like California internet speed. And I'm always used to, like, I mean, I pay for the service, so wouldn't you think I'd have the service? So anyway, I'm waiting. It doesn't upload. And then there's a mistake happens where it tells all of you guys that I got a premiere coming out at 6:45, but I actually don't. So I had to delete that. My internet's going slower than molasses. And man, you guys are probably like, man, all he's going to do is complain. Well, again, this is my rant. So at this point, I decide that, what am I going to do here? I really want to put this premiere up for you guys to see. But I know as soon as I put it up, the guy's going to pull in the driveway and he's going to be like, I'm here. And I'm going to be like, oh, man. So at that point, it's 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is when he's supposed to be here. So I'm like, all right, you know, he's running a little bit late. He's not here on time. I understand. 7:10, 7:15, 7:20, 7:30, 7:35, I get a call. Dispatch. We're not going to be able to make it tonight because, you know, we had a lot of hooking up to do at the other. We had to, like, the guy had to hook up a bunch of attachments. Oh, hold on a second. A spark just landed on my rug. Darn it. Get off my rug. Ooh, these are hot. Burning my rug. Be with you in just a second. After I burn my finger, I'm gonna have to put the. I've got a screen I'm gonna put on there. Why am I yelling? I'm on my headset, so you guys can hear me no matter what. Okay. Good thing I noticed that. Burn marks on the rug. There was like 4 of them on the rug. Anyway, we're back, and the house is not burnt down. I always put the screen up if I'm ever going to leave, and I always wait for it to burn down. I never start a fire right before I'm going to leave because of the doggies and the house and the stuff. Where was I? So they call me at 7:35 saying, we're not going to make it tonight. And I'm like, I understand things happen, but you guys got to do something for me because literally you've wasted so much of my time. The customer service has been horrible. And the guy totally agreed with me. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Like, I totally understand. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to take this out on anybody. I just, like, this is the worst customer service I've ever had. It's the worst company I've ever dealt with. And like, I'm paying you a premium amount and I'm getting nothing, and and on top of that, you're wasting my time, and my time is money. Like, I'm trying to work here and I can't work, and I'm waiting for you guys to get here, and I was on so they wasted they wasted a ton of my time today. They wasted a ton of my time the other day, and they offered me a $10 credit. This is a joke. So that's where we are right now. I had to finish my Premiere with cellular data on my phone because my internet kept dropping. And I don't know what to do. This was my biggest fear moving to this new location, was I wasn't going to have decent internet. And it doesn't look like I am. I bought the Wi-Fi booster, and I'm returning that already because it literally did nothing. Somebody in the comments linked me like a mesh system, a mesh Wi-Fi system that I looked at. I might actually have to get that. It looked pretty expensive, but I don't know what else to do. If you are an expert in this kind of thing, please send me a direct message. We'll talk. Anyway, rant over. What else? What else is up? Let me read some of these comments here, if I can. I haven't used my my laptop in forever, so like it's in dark mode, which I thought I was gonna like, but I don't like it, and I can't figure out how to get. I mean, I can easily Google it, but I'm not gonna do it right now. Okay, here we go. So anyway, I never had a problem with Verizon Fios. But Spectrum. I told you I wasn't gonna talk about it anymore. But don't get Spectrum if you have a choice. Don't get Spectrum. They suck. When I was looking out the window, like I was standing, I have a beautiful, hold on, let me just show you real quick. I can show this. There's a beautiful window. There's two of them actually. But look at that big window that overlooks my driveway, and it's like the tallest house in the neighborhood. It's not much of a neighborhood, but from the rest of them, like I'm like overlooking, like I'm like way higher than any of the neighbors. I've always like looked at houses like this and be like, oh, it must be cool to be them. But anyway, I'm looking out the window, looking down I've got a steep driveway, looking down the driveway, and this beautiful fox just comes running up the hill across my driveway, and I'm like, oh, I just froze. Like I wanted to take a picture, but you know, those guys are a little bit too fast, you know, to grab your phone and do that. There's no Hughes, not here. No. The only thing I have available to me where I live at this current time is Spectrum. So if they ever get Verizon Fios, fiber optic, whatever it is, out here this way, I'm switching like that. Like, boom, right back. My daily rewards are going to be missed for my chess game. So anyway, what else is new? I've been posting a lot more. I've been posting a lot of videos with these vlogs. I love doing them. So, you know, things change. So maybe like this is my new format for now, until, you know, something else happens. But right now I'm having fun doing these, the vlog style. I'm just sharing whatever I do. And even when I like get up and I'm like, what am I going to do today? Something always comes up and I figure it out. Ralph, what's up? I actually don't. The horror game is on the other side of the house right now. But thank you for that super chat, that 237. We'll have to do that another time because it's kind of dark in here to read those. Otherwise, you'd have to wait here for me to go run down there and grab them. What else we got here? You know, I was just saying, Sabrina, that I noticed. It's funny that I saw that fox today because I noticed something weird the last couple days, like just being here for, you know, a couple weeks now, and I have like this huge. If you saw the vlogs, you'll see there's a big forest behind my house, and it goes all the way up the hill. And one thing I noticed was it's really eerily dead. Like there's no animals, there's no birds, there's no squirrels, there's no rabbits, there's no deer. I did see a squirrel jumping around down over here the other day, but back there I've seen nothing. And I thought, like, I'm always going out there, like, especially late at night. I'm like, I hope a bear doesn't come down the hill when I'm out here. But I haven't seen anything. So it's kind of weird. In fact, I've never even heard of HughesNet. There was something, I just made dinner. There's something else I was gonna share. Let's see. Indy went to the vet too. He didn't go to the vet because he's sick or anything. He's fine. He just went to the vet for a consultation for teeth cleaning, to get his teeth cleaned. Oh, and anyway, how did everybody like the video I posted tonight? If you haven't seen it, go watch it afterwards. But yeah, I decided to take you guys with me and show you more of my day than I normally do. JJ Mendoza, thank you for the super chat, $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Nice. Yeah, and then we like I said, we went back over to my old house so I could pick some things up, and I pulled in the driveway, and Indy was like, "Oh, I'm home. Which house? Where do I live? Who am I?" He was a little bit confused. Yeah, I know a lot. I know a lot of people really like the vlog series. It's more like what's going to happen next. Whereas the other videos, like I like doing, but they were like completely, absolutely random. Like you never knew what you were going to, I never knew what I was going to do. And this is like kind of a continuation of like maybe the last one. That's what I'm trying to do here with the vlogs. Just show you the progress here at the house and everything. Joseph Michael, thank you so much for the super chat. Chris, did you try the new vegan chorizo at Chipotle? No, I didn't, but I eat Chipotle every now and then, so I will probably be getting it pretty soon. I really want to see how it tastes, so I'll definitely check it out. You know what? I'm thirsty and I don't have my water bottle with me here. Got to remember next time. Ooh, we got a light. We're gonna turn the light off though. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say is the video I posted, the last video, not the video I posted today, but the one before that, I did a little bit of the family tree, and I mean, I know nobody else in my family except for my dad and me even really care about any kind of things dealing with history or our family, stuff like that. But I really do, and my dad really does. So my dad has some pretty good notes and everything about who so, and I don't know a lot about it, but he was going to give all that to me about the family tree. And, you know, this is stuff I never cared about when I was younger, but I do now. And I wanted to know, like, I mean, I only know, you know, up to my like grandmother and really like a few cousins and stuff like that, uncles, but he has all the way from like great like immigrating here from Ireland back in like 1850. My great grandmother. So anyway, I videotaped all this because I knew that even if he gave me all this stuff without telling me what it all was or who was who, I probably wouldn't be able to piece it all together and know who was who. So I wanted to take a video of him telling me so I could go back and look, okay, this person is this person's father and mother, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I did. And somebody had a question. My great grandfather, my dad's grandfather, my great grandfather, there's a picture of him. I was just going to grab my phone and show you the picture, but I'm on my phone right now. So there's a picture of him, and it kind of looks like he's wearing a Civil War style like uniform. And somebody asked what the symbol was on the hat, and I had no idea, so I had to ask my dad, like was it a military uniform or what? And apparently, it's not military. He was a civilian in a band. I guess that was maybe his school band or whatever, or he was in the marching band. And so that was the band uniform. And it turns out he was I was talking. I don't know if you're watching this live stream right now, but we were talking back and forth with one of you guys that were commenting on the post, and it turned out that they actually did a search on the internet to find somebody in the area here where I live in Syracuse that is a historian for like bands and stuff like that. And apparently this guy was in like a couple different movies. I forget which movie. It was like House of Cards maybe, and then another one. But anyways, this guy's like one of the leading historians on this stuff, and he's got his whole band company, and he's got a lot of brass instruments and everything. So I actually wrote him. I found his contact information on his website, and I wrote to him, and I sent him the picture, and I basically said, I don't really know much. This is my great-grandfather, and I guess he was in a band. Can you tell me anything about the uniform or like anything? And he had a lot to say without me giving him really any information whatsoever. And there was a little bit of information I knew that I didn't give him just to see if he knew it. And he was like right on. So apparently my grandfather was born 100 years before I was. So he was born in 1876. And the picture of him was taken in the late 1800s, approximately. So, and he was a civilian in a band. And that was after the Civil War, but also before the World War I. So it was in a time of, and he's been living in Syracuse all his life. So, just a time of peace at that point. And I'm looking forward to getting some more information from my dad to send back to the historian. So anyway, let's get back to some of these comments here. Let's see if anybody... I should go get my water and stay hydrated. Is water high in protein? There's nothing on Ancestry? Oh, about him? Yeah, Rebalancer has been helping me with family tree stuff. And apparently I'm finding all this stuff that I never knew about my family, and I'm sending it to like my mom and dad, and my dad knows a lot, but my mom doesn't really know much about her family, and we're finding out like all these different things. And apparently, so my my great grandfather, I think, on my mom's side is my mom actually came up with the name of the main character for my movie that I wrote. I actually wrote a different name. I had a different name that was very similar, and she said, well, why not this name? Because this was your great-grandfather's name. And I'm like, I actually like that better. So I changed it. So the original name I had was changed, because I had that since 2008-9, and then it's since been changed to my great-grandfather's name. Does Rachel like the longer beard? I don't know. I'm not sure. I know that when I have the beard, especially when I like first met her, she met me when I had a big beard, and then I totally shaved it, and for a minute there she's like, who are you? Like, totally different person. Like, you scared me. I thought you were somebody else. Like, that kind of thing. Because I mean, it makes sense. Like, if I was clean shaven and I decided to grow a beard, it's going to take gradually a long time, so nobody's going to notice. They're going to see I'm going to look the same to them all the time because it's slowly coming in. But if they're used to me with a big beard, and then all of a sudden I go in the bathroom, I shave it all off, and I come out, they're going to be like, whoa. But sometimes, like my mom, she's oblivious sometimes, and she doesn't even know. Like, she's like, oh, I'm like, you didn't even notice that I shaved my beard off. Or, I don't know. I wonder if they would notice if I cut my hair off. If I just buzzed my hair. Probably nobody would notice. Whew. Well, I do a video on my grandpa. my grandpa on my dad's side, I never met him. He died before I was born. There is movie footage of it. My dad has like I took after my dad. My dad bought a home movie camera, and he was taking movies ever since he was like 13 or 14 years old. So there's actually footage of my great grandfather that we were just talking about that was born 100 years before me. When he was really old, when my dad was 14, I have footage of that on my computer. I've taken all that old footage of my dad and everything, and I didn't really think twice about that. Like, I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but I knew who he is now, because now I see the younger picture of him, and I put two and two together, and I'm like, wow, you know, like obviously he looks a lot older and a lot heavier, but that's definitely him. Um, and then my other grandfather on my mom's side, um, he's not alive anymore either, but I, you know, like when you're a little kid, you don't really care, you know? When I was a little kid, you know, most things I didn't really care about. Well, there's grandma and grandpa, big deal, you know? And as I was starting to get older, I did care. And my grandfather was in the Korean War, and there were some stories that I had always heard, and I just wanted to, like, I mean, obviously he would never talk about it with my mom or anybody like that. And I was just wondering, now I was getting older. I forget how old I was when he died. I might have only been like 19 or 20, but I was old enough to like actually, you know, like care. Like, I don't know, like, it's not that I didn't care when I was younger, but it's like you're carefree. You don't think of those things when you're a little kid. And then when I was older, I realized that I didn't have much time left to talk to my grandfather, that I realized, you know, he's always been like really, he was the one that let me watch my first horror movie that I was able to technically watch. He had like a whole Blockbuster in his house. Like when I say that, he was OCD about this is before Blockbuster existed, but actually, I don't know. Actually, I don't know when Blockbuster started, but when Blockbuster started becoming popular in everybody's city, that it was before that. So he would record everything and put them on VHS tapes and card catalog them on like meticulously. Like you can find, he had stacks and stacks and stacks of drawers of VHS tapes, where if you went and you looked at his little binder that he put together, you would look up a movie and it would tell you which one, like F2. You would go to F2 and you'd open it up and you'd find it and you'd pull it out, and then he'd have like 3 movies, because he would do it on like extended play. He'd have 3 movies on each tape, and you would either fast forward, if it wasn't the first movie on the tape, you would fast forward to the number that he put in there, and then you'd have that movie, put it in the VCR, and he was always recording movies. And when he got really old, to the point where he wasn't doing that, and he actually died of Alzheimer's. So when he got to that point, he just gave all of those away, and my cousins and everybody like took them all, and we took a bunch of them, and I still have them today. I actually still have the exact, kind of falling apart, but I could show you, and so maybe in another vlog I'll show you guys what I'm talking about there, and I'll kind of tell the story again. But anyway, he was the one, when my mom said no, he was the one that let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street, where I was actually allowed to watch it. And that was in the 80s, obviously, when Nightmare on Elm Street came out. My mom said, no, absolutely not. And he said, Kathy, let him watch it. And she's like, you know, that's her dad telling her that. So she's like, all right, but if you get scared, don't come running to me. And I'm like, I won't. So that grandfather, back to this long story that I'm making way too long, when I lived at my aunt's house, that was I don't know if anybody remembers or watched my videos back then. It was mainly around 2017-ish, when I had the Spectrum the other time. I would go for walks up at the reservoir. And this is a reservoir where my dad grew up, and, you know, he'd go around there. And I grew up there too, because every time I went to my grandma's house at that point, it's my aunt's house now, but it was my grandmother's house, and it's where my dad grew up. So I was walking around the reservoir with Indy and everything. Well, back when I was like, I think 19 or 20, my grandfather on my mom's side and me, we went for this. He had Alzheimer's at this point, and we went for a walk together. And I think this is the most I actually talked to him one-on-one ever in my life. And we walked around, and this is the only time I really spent time with him and hung out with him, just us. We walked around the entire reservoir, which was a mile. I'm surprised now that we did that, but you know, we took our time and he walked really slow, and we went around there, and I decided, I just started asking him all these questions that I wanted to know about history and the past and everything. And unfortunately, he didn't know the answer to a lot of them. He still was like, you could tell he still was there a little bit, but like if he didn't know it, he'd always say, "Oh, it's a whatchamacallit," you know, it's a whatchamacallit. And yeah, and I have videos because I started taking videos from the time I was a little kid as well, and I have their 50th wedding anniversary. It's crazy because I think my parents are they at 50s? Yeah, my parents are at 50s. Are they at their 50 yet? Or anyway, my parents are like their age now that they were when I filmed them. And I have a video of them dancing to their song. Anyway, I'm not going to go any more into this because, like, anyway, next subject. I don't want to make this too sad because the end of this story has me with a tear in my eye, and I like never cry. Like, I've cried as an adult, like I can count on like that many that I, you know, so, but that one, I won't tell that story right now. What was the next thing I was even talking about? I'm like on a rant here. We go from Spectrum to like, oh, the family tree, that's why. What was my point with the family tree? Oh, it was a historian. So I want to give that information back to the historian so maybe he can tell me a little bit more. Because he was spot on. He said, this looks like, you know, it could be military, but it could also be civilian. Civilian wore those. And I would say it's anywhere from 1870 to 1900. And I'm like, wow, you're spot on. Spot on. So that was cool. Do I ever drink anything else besides water? Yes. Well, sometimes I'll drink a smoothie. Look, hey, I gotta say, I drink smoothies almost every day. And then when I got COVID, for some reason, like I had no desire anymore to make a smoothie. It's really weird. My desire to eat went away when I had COVID. And I didn't want a smoothie. A smoothie didn't sound good to me anymore. And then since then, I've had one smoothie. So in the last month, I've had one smoothie. And I have all the ingredients there, but I haven't made one. But I don't want to rule it out. So other things I drink other than water are smoothie, you know, like vegan milks. Like I have oat milk that, you know, sometimes I'll take a swig of. But usually I make smoothies with it or do whatever else with it. And then not all the time, but sometimes I'll have like some fresh orange juice. And other than that, which when I feel like pulling out the juicer, I'll make some juice, fresh juice. And other than that, pretty much I don't drink anything else. Once in a great while, I'll have some decaffeinated tea, usually green tea or something like that. Back in the day, when I was like less than 14, we used to get together to play Dungeons and Dragons, and we would order pizza. My parents or somebody would order a pizza, like not all the time. This was like a special occasion or something. We'd order a pizza, and we'd all have like a 2-liter. Like I would always have like Mountain Dew or Pepsi. I grew up on Pepsi because my grandmother always liked Pepsi. I always hated Coke, and I always had Pepsi. But when I turned about 14 or something like that, I went vegetarian, and I stopped taking any kind of like pain medicine or anything like aspirin or Tylenol. So I completely stopped all of that, and then I went vegan. And then shortly after that, I stopped drinking all soda. I stopped drinking caffeinated soda when I was 14. But I still drank, like, Sprite was no caffeine, and certain root beer, not Barks. Barks had caffeine, but other root beer, like A&W and stuff, they didn't have caffeine, at least at the time. I haven't checked in, like, 20 years. Because literally, The last time I drank soda was 20 years ago. It was 2002, I think it was. And I haven't drank soda since then. So, but I used to drink a lot. I used to, and my grandmother was always like Pepsi, Pepsi, Pepsi. So my dad and my aunt and everybody, just like over Christmas break, they all had like their Pepsi. Can I have a Pepsi, Pepsi? And if I had to choose one, it was always a Pepsi over Coke, but not no more. I love water. I've never had coffee in my life. No, I didn't go straight edge because of my sensei guy. In fact, I identified with straight edge, but I had always been straight edge. My whole life I've been, well, I guess I had to identify it when I heard the term, but I've never done any drugs. I've never drank alcohol. So I've lived my entire life as straight edge, but I didn't identify with the term until I was 14. And it wasn't because of the sensei. That just happened to coincide with the same time period. But it was mainly because I was a skateboarder, and the new friends that I made at school were into hardcore music. So I got into the hardcore scene, and that's where I first heard straight edge. So I went straight edge. Like some of my favorite bands at the time, like the first show I went to was Shelter 108. I don't know, most of you probably don't know who they are, but to me, like, that was a great time. And they were Hare Krishna. And I ended up like doing all the Hare Krishna chants and everything just because it was in their songs. But I didn't like adopt the religion or anything like that. I wasn't a Hare Krishna, but I could chant the whole Hare Krishna chant just because it was in one of my favorite songs. I think a lot of people could at the time. But when we would go to those shows, they were also vegan, and they were really cool. And so the band Shelter consisted of, well, the singer of Shelter was Ray Capo, and he was also a vegan. And after the show, he would come and hang out with everybody. He'd meet everybody, and he met me once, and I basically was like, yeah, he's like, oh, what's your name? And I'm like, my name's Chris, and yeah, and I am straight edge, and I am vegan. Or, oh, cool. And they had this food there that was all vegan, and I don't know if any of you have ever had the pleasure, the opportunity to have it, but they always had a food called, I don't know how to say it exactly. I think I might be saying it wrong, but prashadam, and it was their religious food, but it was all vegan, and I don't even know what it was, but it was so good. They had this pink stuff and just all the stuff, and they would give it to you for free. I mean, you better give them a donation. You don't have to. They'll give it to you free. But anyways, and then later on in life, when I went to college, I went to University of Florida back in 2000 to 2001, and on the campus in the courtyard on Wednesdays, the Hare Krishnas would be there, and they would have their prasadam. So I was like, oh my God. And I would go there, and they remembered me as like the dude that wore the beanie. And because when you're wearing a beanie up here, it's no big deal. But when you're wearing a beanie in the middle of the summer in Florida, it's a pretty big deal. So anyway, back to Shelter. When I was younger, he gave me some prayer beads that I had, and I had them all these years, and then I gave them to my friend who just moved to Iceland. She still has them, and so the next time that I saw them was like a couple years later. They played another show, and I saw him, and he meets all kinds of people, and I thought this was pretty impressive. After his set, or maybe before he went on, he was in the crowd and he was walking by, and I was like, I just kind of nodded. He goes, oh, hey, Chris. And I was like, oh my God, you remembered me. I couldn't believe it, but he remembered me. And it wasn't like I made that big of an impression the first time, because we barely said anything. I just like introduced myself to him. But yeah, for any of you who've had the prasadam, if I'm saying it right. Oh, and ginger beer. Ginger beer was so good. I had ginger beer for the first time at an Ethiopian place when I lived in Rochester. and it came in a mason jar, and that was the first time I'd ever seen anybody drink out of a mason jar. And I knew that this was vegan. It wasn't real beer. There was no alcohol in it, and they made it themselves. And when I drank it, it was like, oh, it was a long time ago. It was probably 14 years ago that I lived there. 13, 14 years. And I've always been a big Lord of the Rings fan. So when I was drinking it, I'm like, give me that mason jar full of ginger beer. And like, it's always fun to pretend like, oh, I'm like Gimli from Lord of the Rings with my ale, I don't know. Something like that. I guess that goes back to when I was like a kid or whatever. Something my dad said once, but it's gross, so it's not vegan, so I don't want to say it. I did not graduate from University of Florida. I transferred. I actually ended up taking actually I think a year off. And the reason for that was I went to transfer to a school in New York City. And I left the University of Florida in May of 2001. And then I went to go look at schools in New York City. And I think if you put 2 and 2 together, you'll understand why I didn't go to school that semester, because 9/11 happened. So I ended up going to a school in New York City right after 9/11, like the next semester. And I did graduate from that school. But I went to University of Florida for 1 year. And coincidentally, for those of you that know Brian Manowitz, who is also known as the vegan black metal chef, he went there at the same time I did, but we didn't know each other. And I'm not sure if he was vegan at that point. That was over 20 years ago. I'm not sure if he was. And we didn't know each other. How long have we been on? Do I have a timer on here? An hour? Oh no, 47. I'm looking at the wrong counter. I got 2 sleeping doggies right here. Sleeping doggy 1, sleeping doggy 2. I wonder if I could show you. I don't know. Probably not. They're probably gonna. Let me see if I can. Sleeping doggy 1. Sleeping doggy 2. And we're back, and we're crooked. We're very crooked. How did we do that? How did that even happen? Here, there we go. I bought the equivalent of like a selfie stick, but it was a stand for my phone in case I wanted it on a tripod kind of thing, so I can do these things. And I seem to have lost it in the move. I can't find it anywhere, so I had to rig something up on my actual tripod. Yeah, I feel like they do enjoy the fireplace. When I make a fire, they usually go over there and sit down near it. The wood that I have that came with the house doesn't burn very well, but the wood that I picked up at my parents', it burns very, very well. So you put those together and you kind of got like a nice little mix. But it's already done. I think I've got one. I don't want to get up and put another piece on it. We're fine, but it's nice in the morning because I keep the temperature pretty low. I don't like my house too hot. And then it complements it just right. So if I get up in the morning and it's kind of chilly, I'll start a fire and then it's perfect. And it's nice right now to be able to work from home. And, I love traveling too. I've been all over the place, making videos. I just always have an eye for making a video wherever I go. But, while I'm here and not traveling, I might as well make the best of it. And there's so much there's so much content that I figure that I can do if I just start new, like at the house, and show the progress. So that's what I'm trying to do with the vlogs. Yeah, the dogs in a storybook, like Goodnight Moon, Goodnight Pup, Goodnight Spoon. Um, right out here on this side, that's where I took the picture tonight that I posted on my Instagram. Really nice sunsets over here, and the moon and the trees. And I'm not gonna say where because I don't want to give out my location or anything. But there's like a huge, like, I'm like halfway up a mountain, and like I was driving about a week ago from there's a little town about 2.5 miles away, and I was out there and I was driving back home, and I was looking at all the lights, and then halfway up the mountain I see these two lights, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, that's my house, because I left the main floodlight on and then the light right over here by the front door. So like I'm halfway up the hill over here, and overlooking here is I can see all the other like mountain. When I say mountain, these aren't really mountains. They're like baby mountains. They're not like, I mean, the elevation where I am is a lot higher than I'm like 1,000 feet higher than where I was. But there's like a whole ski resort that in the winter, like it is now with all the leaves gone, you can look out and you can see it. So it's not bad. Not bad at all. I don't know, guys. What else? What else? Why is that like that? Why are you the way you are? Do I ski? No, I don't ski. I snowboarded. Here's a story about me snowboarding. I went snowboarding in 1995. I've been an avid skateboarder since the 80s. And then I went snowboarding. I went snowboarding in 1995 early in the year. So I had snowboard boots, pants, coat, snowboard, and I learned to snowboard. In fact, I learned at this place right that I'm looking at over here. And I sucked really bad. It was hard for me to even stand up. But once the second time I went, which was another place around here, I did a little bit better. And because I was a skateboarder, I feel like it made me better at snowboarding, but also snowboarding made me better at skateboarding, because snowboarding, I always went, you always tend to go a lot faster than you do if you're on a skateboard. So then when I started skating again, I started doing all my tricks a lot faster, which makes the falls a lot harder. But anyway, so then I made this decision in late 1995 that I was going to move to Florida with my friends, and I was going to leave home and I was going to live on my own. I was 19, and I did that. But before I did that, I decided, well, I'm never going to snowboard again because I'm moving to Florida. So in my mind, that was it. I was going to Florida for good. And so I sold all my snowboard stuff, and I've never snowboarded again. But I know it's like riding a bicycle. I could get on a snowboard and I can definitely snowboard. My brother Pat is a good snowboarder. In fact, it's not a good day unless he breaks a bone. He's literally broke his wrist probably 3 times snowboarding. And I mean, he's doing back flips, front flips. He's good, but he's always breaking a bone. He's broken more bones. I think he's the only one in my family that's broken a bone. Whoa, knock on wood. Okay. Oh, now the dogs are like, what's going on, man? I had to knock on wood, Indy. Whew. Leah, have I found one grave or is there more? No, there's only that one grave. It looks like their dog Jack, who was, how old did I say, 14? Died last summer, and that was a grave for Jack. There's no more gravestones. No, I haven't found hungry Greek Mexican. I haven't found any animal prints in the back in the forest area or anything. But down the driveway, I've got other land over there by the car. I see squirrels, and I've seen what I think is a rabbit. But I've only seen a squirrel and the fox. And what does the fox say? Oh, Sabrina, yes. I did see the video of Sky go down the mega ramp with Tony Hawk. Yeah. Pretty impressive because I don't think I would do that. It's crazy. Have I ever had knee pain? Only when I fell on my knees. I mean, I've crashed pretty hard skateboarding, but luckily my injuries, I never broke a bone. I've sprained an ankle really bad, but I've never broke a bone. I think in Florida I was going really fast and I did a backside, just a regular backside ollie, and my board went out from under me and I completely fell backwards and I got a rock in my lower back that was there for years. And then there's a skate park in the town that I grew up in, and Dave Mira put that in there because for those of you that know who Dave Mira was, was the #1 BMXer, most gold medals in the X Games and everything. And I went to school with him. He was from Chenango, New York, and he donated a small little skate park in the little town that I live in. And I was up on one of the ramps and I was falling backwards. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna fall. And there's nothing I could have done. And I fell straight off the ramp. And this is just like maybe 6 or 7 years ago. So here I am, like my late 30s, early 40s. I'm on this ramp and I fall straight down, probably 5 feet right on my back. And I'm like, that just happened. I didn't get hurt. Like I don't know. I mean, I guess my years in martial arts and skateboarding have taught me how to fall and not get hurt. Cause I've fallen like many times where, like if you don't fall right, you're going to get hurt. It's like almost like you got to make, in certain situations, you just kind of like have to make your legs go to jello and just kind of go with it. Like Bruce Lee, be water, And with martial arts too, like I've learned to fall. I used to do there was a point where I could dive roll over my friend who was just as tall as me, and all he would do is duck his head a little bit, and I would run and I would jump completely over him and dive roll. And I think I have a video of it somewhere. I was 17. How long did it last when I sprained my ankle? Honestly, it hurt for a few months. Because when you get a really bad sprain and you bruise the bone and the ligaments and stuff, you just got to be grateful that you didn't actually break it. But at the same time, you got to do your best not to put too much weight on it. But for a long time, even after that, I had there was a pain. There was like a sharp little pain that was always there for months. And, eventually it will go away. And I'm fully healed now. But, I went over a launch ramp. And I landed like from 6 feet in the air. I landed and rolled my ankle. Those are the worst. And I've seen my skateboarder friends break their bones and wrist, and those are bad looking at those. But we don't have to talk about that. Oh. After my back surgery? Yeah, that fall was after my back surgery. Yep. And I'll tell you, skateboarding definitely comes in handy now too. I've been skating over 30 years, and I've got these really big, they came with the house, big garbage cans and recycle cans they're huge, and you wheel them down to, the front of your yard. And like I said, I've got a long, steep driveway, and it's been really cold, so the driveway is snowy and ice usually. And I start going to take these bins down, and I start sliding because I've got like no traction on these sneakers that I wear. And instead of falling or something, I just went with it, and I just skied and kind of like slid all the way down the driveway. And while I was dragging the garbage cans. So that was fun. But the people that lived here, they were like my parents' age, and I got to meet them too. It was like an old man, and I can't imagine because my parents came here to visit last week, and they got here and they were like, oh my God, like I had to help them out of the car because they were on such a hill that I was like, here, like, let me grab the door for you. Let me grab your elbow. Don't slip no matter what you do. Like, I mean, it's, yeah, this really steep out there. Cynthia, thank you so much for that $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Birthday December 29th. Shout out to me. Thanks for the chat too. So happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to you. December 29th. One of my good friends has the same birthday as you. Yeah, he lives out in San Diego. I've got a bunch of friends with birthdays around that time. I've got another friend birthday before that. Yes, a lot of birthdays in December. John had a birthday in December. You use snow cleats when you go out there, AJ? It might have been why they sold the house. I mean, I know they probably moved right down where Jack was born. That's what I'm thinking, because I know they moved to Florida. Leah, oh my God, you're so right. I did. I made more tonight in super chats than what my internet company decided to give me back for really poor service. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. And AJ, it was AJ's birthday too. So happy double birthday to AJ and Cynthia. Happy birthday to you two. Hope it was a good one. Good ones. I hope you both had a good one. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. My birthday is coming up in just a couple weeks. It's like, no, I don't need another birthday so soon. But they just keep coming. You know, I was talking to my parents. Should I just I mean, I feel like I just have these random thoughts that just come in my head. I'm always changing the subject, but who knows? I guess this is my live stream, so I can say whatever I want, right? I always, that's okay. I forgot what I was going to say because I started talking about something else. Oh no, I remembered. This is what I always have these deep thoughts about stuff that probably don't even really matter, but maybe this is true for some of you. I feel like when I was a little kid, so I was born in the 70s, and for the most part, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. But the 80s, you know, little kid growing up in the 80s, pretty amazing time, just learning life, making friends, doing things, and, you know, all the great things you think back to the 80s. But what I do remember is that it seemed like it took forever. I mean, time went by so slow. And then the 90s came around, and those years went by also pretty slow. And then all of a sudden it was 2000, and boom, now we're at 2022. In a blink of an eye, I feel like 22 years went by like nothing. Like, whatever happened? I was 20 years old, and now I'm in my 40s. Like, what happened there? Like, why did it go by so fast? And the only thing I can think of is once you get older, it just, you know, like the things you do and, you know, time just goes by faster. It just seems like it goes by faster. Is this the same for anybody else? So I was talking to my mom and dad the other day, and I told them what I just told you. Like, that's how it feels to me. And I said, Dad, what about you? What did the 70s and 80s, did they go by fast for you? Or actually, it would probably be, you know, since you're like 30 years older than me, it probably would have been like, what? The 50s and the 60s? Those would have been your years that went by slow for you. And then all of a sudden, the 70s and 80s flew by like they did, you know, like I feel like has for me. It's just weird because like I don't know, maybe I'm sentimental, maybe I'm like overly nostalgic, but like I've got like a perfect memory of like everything. And like when you remember your parents, you know, in their 30s and 40s, I remember when they turned 40. I remember when they were, you know, in their 30s still. I can remember all of that. So I remember when they were younger than I am now. And it's like, that's how I grew up with your parents, you know. But now they're like, they're old, you know. My parents are old, and I'm getting old, and I'm older than they were, and it's like, it all happens within a blink of an eye, and it's like, this is your life, and time goes by, and the only thing that you'll never get back, that you can't buy, that you'll never be able to buy, is time. Time is something we all have the same amount of. I mean, until it's over, but like, we're all dealing with it the same. So choose your time wisely, because you'll never get it back. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. The 70s seem to go by slowly, and it seems so dull. Yeah, like I was very young then, so. Wait a minute. What? Yeah, Heather says, I feel that way. I feel like I have a birthday every 3 months. I feel the same way too. Like, it's like, whoa, slow down with the birthdays. I keep having them. It's like, I used to be a little boy, so old in my shoes. But now, kids grow older. Children get older, and I'm getting older too. Julie says, my kids are adults now. I think they've kept me young. It does go by fast. Yeah. Anyway. Everything you wake up is a blessing. Every day you wake up is a blessing. You remember Betty White on the Mary Tyler Moore Show? Yeah, the things that, yeah, and I can remember like so many things, like Lou Ferrigno. Like, I mean, the Incredible Hulk. I met him. Well, I kind of met him. I was afraid to meet him, but I was right in front of him. There's home movies of it back in 1980 when I was a little kid. The Hulk monster, seeing him in person. Lou Ferrigno is like, he's in his 70s now, I think. Chuck Norris is still with us. Okay. But like, somebody had like a meme that just like, it resonated. It's like, on December 8th, it made it 41 years since John Lennon was killed, which means John Lennon has been dead longer than he was alive. He was only 40, but he's been dead for 41 years. And that leads me to another thing. If my calculations are right, which, I mean, it's math, it's right, then Frances Bean Cobain, Kurt Cobain's daughter, is older than Kurt was when Kurt died. She's older than him now than when he died. 6, 7, 8. So he died at 27, and she'll be 28. Am I doing that right? But 16, 26, 27, 28, yeah. She's either exactly his age or 1 year older, or she will be 1 year older. So you were born in the late 70s. I was born in the mid 70s. So, and I remember things from the 70s too. Hey, Deneen. Hey, Mike. If you're just joining us, I'm just rambling right now. I had a nice little rant at the beginning, but we've talked about a lot of stuff. And we're on the phone because my internet company sucks, and my internet doesn't like my computer. It looks like the only way I'm really going to be able to, unfortunately, do this like down in my actual studio is if I buy, I think, a 75-foot Ethernet cable, because I have a 60-foot one right now and it's a few feet too short. So if I buy a 75 one or a 71, then it should be enough, but to have good internet down there. But the only problem that comes with that is every single time I get on my computer, I'm literally going to have to unwind the cable and connect it all the way up here to all the way down there. And I really don't want to have to do that. I know that, you know, most people probably don't want an internet cable just going through their house like that. It's just, you know, it's crossing floors, it's going through the kitchen, through the living room, through the downstairs, everything. Through the pantry. Yeah, country reception. Well, it's not so much the country reception because I have perfect reception if it's just cellular data. But in my house, I can't get decent, even like right here, like the internet drops. And it shouldn't be dropping because it's supposed to be the best they have. You love Lou? Lou Diamond Phillips? Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno. What am I? See? Well, Linda, I could move my stuff upstairs and have a little dinky, tiny little office, but I've got like a nice, huge office downstairs where not only do I have my streaming, but I also have like the capability to put all of my lighting. So if I want to film something when I'm not streaming, I can just turn around and have all that space to do that. And it's the perfect studio, you know? So it's one or the other. I abandon that and I take one of the rooms up here, which are really, I don't know. What do I do? I mean, maybe it'll be a little bit more cozy up in one of these rooms, but I don't know. I was excited about the room down there. But yes, that would be one of the fixes I could do. The toilets all work. The toilets work very well, too. Well, Stacy, there's no real carpet from where I would go. It's all hardwood, and then it goes to a little bit of carpet, and then there's going to be some brand new carpet. I'd have to, if I was going to do that, I'd probably have to get a 100-foot one to account for, like, you know, going up to the wall, you know, down. And I don't know if we really want to do that because, you know, I don't know if Rachel's going to be cool with that either. Which would probably be no. You're 55. You thought you were the oldest one here? I thought I was the oldest one here. In vampire years, I'm about 152, but ask the neighbors what they do. Well, I don't think, well, see, here's the thing. There is internet here, and if I were to set up right next to that, it would be completely fine for whatever somebody really wants to do. But I don't think the people that lived here before me were avid streamers. I don't think they use the internet the way I use the internet. So I need a reliable source that isn't just okay, that's, you know, more than okay, especially if I'm going to be live streaming and possibly bring guests on the show and stuff like that. I need a good internet like I had at the last house. So like I said, the internet does work here, but it's been dropping, and it doesn't work down where I need it to work. And even right here, right next to the router, I lost all internet as soon as I did the premiere for the new video tonight. Are we doing any simple remodeling or changes? Like, is there any wallpaper or anything? Well, you see that wallpaper right there. Like, for some reason, like, this is like old wallpaper and stuff. I actually like it. I think Rachel wants to redo a lot of this, but here's the thing. All right, we're gonna. I didn't really want to talk about this right now. It just frustrates me, but let's just talk about it for a second. Oh, sorry about that. I'm so fed up with, I mean, I'm sure pretty much everybody is, with the way the world is right now. And the way the world is, I mean, it's affecting all of us, but how, I'm just going to talk about how it's affecting me. It's affecting me because I haven't been able to make my movie. And if I can't do what I want to do this year, go out to California and shoot the movie the way that I thought I was going to do it, I'm just going to say, look, I'm going to get I'm gonna get people around here, and we're gonna shoot the movie right here, right where I wrote it to be, right where it was originally supposed to be filmed, and I'm just gonna shoot it here. And guess what? My house can be one of the locations we shoot it in, because that hallway down there was like, it was like almost like amazing, like it was right out of a dream. But when I wrote it, that was what was in my mind. It was a long hallway with a bunch of rooms on either side, and it was like an old looking farmhouse. So the wallpaper in here does have like an old look on it. So yeah, Rachel wants to remodel, but I was like, can we please wait? Like, can you remodel other parts of the house and then leave that at least until I shoot the movie at the end of the year? We'll get some good shots in here, and then, oops, unplugged it. So that's kind of my idea. If I can't get out and travel again and go out to LA and do what I set out to do, what I was held up by not doing last year and the year before because of what's going on, then yeah, for sure I'm going to try to take things into my own hands and do it right here, right in Syracuse area. I'll try to get, whoever in the area, maybe there's a film department here, and we'll make do with what we have, and we'll just go from there. And there's a lot of locations that I already know that we can use that were inspiration in my brain when I wrote those certain parts of the movie. So yeah, I mean, this house right here, I mean, just look at the walls and stuff. It is a little bit out of date, but this was perfect. This was like, imagine like, this atmosphere, like it's kind of dim in here and stuff, and there's zombies outside, and like, you're safe for now, and you're like, what are we gonna do, kind of thing. And your nice trusty German Shepherd sitting with you, and like, I mean, it's all on paper right now, but eventually we're gonna shoot it. And I'm sick of putting it on. I'm sick of the delays that have come to fruition. And it's like, how did you got to think, like, I know a lot of people are frustrated and upset, like, how come you didn't make this, like, you're scamming us and stuff. And like, that hurts the most, because like, no, I'm not scamming anybody. Like, this was my dream. This is what I wanted to do, and this is completely out of my control what's going on right now. And it's like, I'm not trying to be like, selfish or anything like that, but it's like, what are the chances? What are the chances that out of my entire life, I finally get to the point where like, I can actually do this? We did a Kickstarter. We actually have some decent connections. We got a full script. We got everything for the green light. And then this happens. It's like, is this ever going to end? Am I ever going to have a chance to actually shoot it? Because we don't have the budget to do what these new rules and guidelines want us to do. That's why we can't do it. That's why I can't go out to LA and do this. That's why it looks more and more like I'm just going to have to just, hey, like, I know how to shoot movies, so let's do this. Let's grab, let's pay a sound guy. Let's get a decent sound guy that knows what they're doing. Let's get a lighting guy that knows what they're doing, and let's get a cinematographer. Let's get, at least one person that's like, talent that's semi well known, or, mediocrely well known. And then everybody else, like, hey, like, you're not going to get rich making this movie. You're not even really going to get paid that much. This isn't about that. This is about being part of something that's going to be amazing. And you'll be like, I mean, if somebody came to me and said that, I'd be like, 100% I'm down. This is what I like doing. This is what I want to do. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but those people that want to make films and stuff like that, everybody should jump on that opportunity, not look at it like some of the people in the past have that I've teamed up with and been like, oh, how much money am I going to make for this? Like, how much money, like, and like, we got to make contracts and stuff. And it's like, dude, this isn't even about money. This is about making a freaking movie. geez, and it's like I don't know. So I'm frustrated about a lot of that stuff. So anyway, next subject. What else are we talking about here? Megatron. You know, I never had Megatron. I've had the luxury of having Optimus Prime, Rodimus Prime, Ultra Magnus, even Galvatron, but I never had Megatron. I never had Omega Supreme either, but I did have Skywarp and Jetfire. Jetfire was rare because he was only on Cybertron. You're an actor, not well known, not good either. Um, Wait a minute. How come my computer is plugged in, but yet the battery is going down and down? It was at like 60, now it's at 25. I think I need a, I don't know if it's working. Anyway, if that goes out, then we're going to have to end this. It's snowing in Tennessee. It's not even, it hasn't snowed here in a while. In fact, we barely had any snow this year. We did have a little bit, but then it stopped right before Christmas. The only time of the year now as an adult that I actually want it to snow. Come on, go if you're going to go. Go. Um, and then it stopped. Then it started raining. And it hasn't snowed since. There's no snow on the ground. In fact, a couple nights ago, well, maybe 4 nights ago, it was like 50 degrees, which is pretty warm. Depending on where you are, you're going to either agree with me or be like, whoa, that's way too cold. So it's like 50 degrees. Some of you are going to be like, whoa, that's way too cold. But to us at this time of year, that was pretty warm. And then the very next day, it was 10 degrees. Now, that's cold no matter where you are. 10 degrees is cold. And then the next day, it was 28. And then today it was like 36, so it got warm again today. And some of you are going to be like, 36, that's freezing. But yeah, it felt a little bit warmer today. Probably though. Wait, what are we talking about here? To make things worse about how thirsty I am, my dog just went and drank from his dish. And I'm like, oh, I wish I was drinking out of his dish too. Not really, but... 41. Yeah, 41. Oh yeah, there's no ice on my car. It's really weird. It's just hit or miss. Like some years, like I mean, there's been some pretty like awesome Christmases here where it really snowed, and it just makes it. I mean, to me, I mean, to a lot of people, but to me, it's like a very nostalgic thing. It brings me right back to being a little kid where it snowed out. Like that was the one thing. Like it always sucked a little bit when it didn't snow, if it rained or just nothing happened, and it was all just green grass out, and it was Christmas. There's just something about it because I think some of my favorite Christmases growing up were, that coziness and um, the big snowstorm. Yeah. So yeah, I always hope it snows on Christmas and not my birthday. It's weird. It's snowing out in like so many other places, but it's not snowing here. And I am at a higher elevation too, but there's no snow. Minus 10 degrees Celsius. The day, so I actually converted it when it was 10 degrees here, which is negative, what was it? Negative 8.9 degrees Celsius? Is that right? Was it negative or? I think it was negative. Oh, wow, Mike, it's 83 there. Where are you? Is that 83 Fahrenheit? It didn't snow here on Christmas, no. I was bummed out. The fireplace is still making a little bit of crackling, but all I can see is some red embers. The wood's pretty much done. Anyone remember Snow? And Forma, da 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 da, licky bum bum down. That song? They redid a song with like the same like tone at that. I think most of like the younger people don't know that it's actually snow. Oh, are we getting a big snowstorm in upstate? See, my problem is like I'm stuck. I can't really leave the house if we do get a snowstorm because there's actually a hill that goes. Okay, the hill to my driveway is one problem, but I do have like parking down at the bottom, and then it goes down a road and then it goes down a hill, and that hill, even with like a little bit of snow, my car would not make it up it. So I don't know if they have to do a better job plowing and salting, or if my car is just not able to get up hills anymore. I mean, is there anybody in here right now that knows cars? Be seriously if you do, because like I have a real question. I'm not very good with cars. I mean, I'm good driving them and stuff, and I know a few things, but I'm by no means a mechanic or know everything about the cars. Wow, we have 48 people watching. 57 in Los Angeles. That's a pretty decent temperature. I've always noticed that even though my internet's like bad right here right now, like the internet that I've used when I was in California was literally horrible. When I was in Northern California, I remember no matter where I went, I was staying at my friend's house, and just to upload a video. So I edited a video and I'm ready to upload it, and it was going to take over 24 hours to upload. And that was just their internet. Like that's just how it is here. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like there's a lot of like people that stream and YouTube, make videos and all that stuff, and it's like, is the internet really that bad out there? Let's see. Wait, I'm missing something. I do have winter tires. I don't think I don't know if they're studded, but they are winter tires. Oh yeah, my question was, does anybody know cars here? Because I have a question if anyone does. You got nice socks and shoes and stuff. I think this might have been the first year I didn't actually get socks. I'm very picky with my socks because, you find a pair you like and then they change them. And I don't like socks to be like, I hate it when they're too tight, but I also don't like them to be so loose that they fall down. So I actually found some good ones that I've been buying, and they're actually Dickies, and they're nice and cushioned, and they're not too tight, and they're perfect. Um, and my dad asked me the other day, he's like, "Do you wear white socks?" I'm like, "No, I haven't worn white socks in like 25 years. I always wear black socks or like special, like, I don't know, Star Wars socks or something sometimes." Um, so anyway, the car question is, so I know there's like a special feature on some cars, like obviously my car, where it'll not I don't know if it thinks you're sliding or something, it'll like freeze up or not do something. So when I was trying to go up the hill, either I think maybe it was to prevent my tires from spinning. It basically like it wasn't doing anything. Like my car, I would press the gas and I was like pumping the gas because my car, even no matter how much I would push the gas, the tires weren't really doing anything at all. And is that like a mechanism that prevents the spinning of the tires? And instead of spinning it, they just don't go at all? Because that's what I felt like was happening. I'm here, sitting here like trying to push the gas as I'm trying to go up the hill, and it just was barely doing anything. So it actually took me about 15 minutes to get up that hill because I had to keep backing up and then try to do it again, try to do it again, try to do it again. And I can't stress enough how hard it was to maneuver that hill. I actually thought I was going to have to park my car and walk home. So now I don't know if I should leave the house if it snows out. Because there's no other way. There's no other way. I'm on a dead end road. There's no other way to get here. That's the only way. What are we talking? I'm missing stuff. We're talking about low cholesterol? How? Well, I don't know about low acids, but you definitely have different different like probiotics and stuff, bacteria in your gut and your stomach for different things. And that can definitely help you out a lot once you change your diet. And also, a proper plant-based diet can work for everybody. So if something didn't work for you, maybe you were eating something that didn't agree with you. Maybe you were eating too much, I don't know, maybe too much citrus stuff and it was affecting your teeth. There's a lot of different things that it could be, but yeah, the professionals all collectively agree that when I say proper, you can't just thrive on like a bunch of junk food. You can't restrict. You can't. There's a lot of like restrictive diets that think I mean, technically it's vegan, but like you can't blame veganism if you're not eating healthy. Is what I'm trying to say. So there's a lot of different things that go into that. I personally have been vegan. This will be my 28th year as a vegan, and never had any problems like that. In fact, went to the dentist. My teeth have been great for all of these years. In fact, the only time I ever had a cavity was before I was a vegan. I do have winter tires on my car, yes. How many cars have I had in my life? I didn't always have the same kind. Okay, so I can't remember I'm not really a car guy. But the first car I ever had was it was this little boxy gray Dodge. And I don't remember what kind of Dodge it was. And that would have been in I think 93 or 94. And then after that, I had a Chevy Cavalier, and I remember I had that for quite some time. And then when I was going to move to Florida, me and a couple friends, we got in that car and we started driving to Florida, and we broke down right around where I live now. Like we barely made it out of Syracuse, and my car broke down. So we delayed that trip. We bought plane tickets, and we actually moved to Florida 3 days later. So that would have been November 5th, 1995. That was a Chevy Cavalier. That was a red one. And I had that for a few years. Well, no, I had that for about a year. And then after that, it was like this wagon. What was it? It was like a Ford wagon. And the door didn't close. I don't know. Anyway, when I moved to Florida, I ended up, so when I moved to Florida, I was pretty poor. I became a garbage man. I made a little bit of money. I didn't work there too long because that job sucked. And then I got a job at a restaurant, and I started, from my very first paycheck, I bought like a broken down 10-speed from Goodwill for $10. And then I started riding my bike to work. And then after a few more paychecks, there was a neighbor that was selling a car, and I bought that car. We talked him down like literally half price. Went from 1,200 to I paid 600, and it was a 280Z. Was it a Datsun 280Z? It was a 1980. It was a gold one, and I loved it. And then after that, I bought. So I should never have bought this next car. I'm not a car guy. I don't know how to fix a car, but one of our friends down there did fix cars and build cars and all this and stuff. So it was like this Bronco with like a shift kit in it, which I don't even know what a shift kit is, but it sounded cool and it was really fast. And like he did something with the motor, and like it had skid plates on it and was lowered to the ground. And I bought this off him, and I had no idea how to fix the cars and everything, and it was just like I should never have bought it. But I ended up selling that to one of my friends. And then after that, I bought a Dodge Dynasty, which I had for quite some time. And then after that one, I bought a Chevy Impala. And I just went there. I did not like the color, but I needed a car, and it was the only one there. So I bought like a beige Chevy Impala, and I really liked it. I really liked the car, but I really hated the color. So then I ended up buying, years later, I bought another Chevy Impala. Maybe almost 10 years later, I bought another Chevy Impala, and I actually got the color I wanted. So I got a black Chevy Impala, and it only had like 10,000 miles on it. I got a pretty decent deal on it. I bought that in like 2011, like 11 years ago. And that's the car that I still have now. That's the one that won't make it up the hill anymore. But let me tell you, it's paid off, and I've definitely got my money out of it. And my dad is always like, why don't you get a new car? And I'm like, because I really don't want a new car payment. And the car, even though it probably doesn't have too much time left in it, it still works. And but in between that, I really wanted a truck. And I bought my dream truck at the time after I bought my house. So I had a nice black Ford F-150 pickup, four-wheel drive. I only drove it on the weekends usually. Sometimes I put Indy in the back and we'd go for like a nice Sunday drive. And then sometimes I put it in four-wheel drive and try to go off-road a little bit. I ended up selling that right before I was going to move to New York or to Los Angeles. I needed the extra money, and why have a truck out in Los Angeles? And I definitely can't have two cars. So I was really smart there. That was a good investment because I actually sold it to my brother, who has since sold it again. But I sold it to my brother. He gave me cash. And instead of taking that cash and doing something stupid with it, I paid off my car, and I paid off my only other credit card. And then after that, it's a little bit easier to save money when you don't have all this debt. So, that brings me to now. Those are the cars that I had in my life. I'm jealous of my brother's car. Actually, both my brothers have a Tesla, but I got what I got. I think the next car I get, I think living where I live, I'm gonna have to get something with a four-wheel drive, because I just don't know. Yeah, the 280Z was definitely cool. Oh my God. I don't know why, but I have a lot of memories, but the one memory that jumps out, I'm driving with my friend, my roommate. We're driving down well, did I have it then? No, we're driving in Sarasota, Florida. And I'm just driving along in my 280Z, driving down the street. And then all of a sudden, like, I wouldn't have done this, but I kind of, like, all of a sudden from it's nighttime, and my visor, all of a sudden the spider starts coming down, and I look at it, and I wasn't 100% sure, but I was pretty sure. I was sure enough to want to jump out of the car while I was driving it that it was a brown recluse. So I'm going, oh my God. And my friend was like, oh my God. And it wasn't coming down on him. It was coming right down where I was. I literally, while I was driving, opened my door and leaned out and grabbed my steering wheel as I was hanging on the car as it was like rappelling down towards me. And I'm like, oh. So like the people behind us must have been like, what's going on? I'm like hanging out of my car. True story. True story. My battery. What? Oh yeah, Trini, my other brother always has to get everything my other brother gets. So he got that. He didn't even tell anybody. He just opened his garage. I'm like, is that a Tesla? He's like, oh yeah, you didn't see my Tesla? Yeah, I got a Tesla here. I have no idea what you're doing, dude. What are you doing? You just shocked me, man. Is this, I literally just let you out. What are you doing? I literally let you out right before I did this live. Can you say it? What are you doing? I know you don't normally do this, so you probably have to go potty. Do you have to go potty? All right, guys, you know what that means. We got to end this. But just because I can shut that and we're still on the phone. So I got to let him out. And I guess I won't be able to really read the comments, but I could take you guys out with me. Good morning. Sunday morning. So let's just take this right off the tripod. And let's see, I got my flashlight. All right, Zeke, this is so... what am the word I'm looking for? An inconvenient truth is what I have to do right now is take my dog out. Usually I let Indy go first, but we're going to let Zeke go. Let's go. We can't both go out. No. Where'd he go? All right, come here. I know you guys can't in my house. Are we still live? Can somebody say something? I can't see any. Do we still have internet? Do we still have internet? I feel like I lost you guys. Can you guys still hear me? Oh no. I was so right. He had to go to the bathroom. He go for like I brought him here. Do we really not have an internet? I'm like looking at the freaking router for pretty much right here. Can we go back inside now? See. Here, come on. No, you've already gone. Let's go. Come on. Come on in. Let's go. Can you guys still hear me? Creepy hallway. Oh, now they're all coming back. Okay, so I couldn't see any of these comments until now that I'm literally... Look at this, guys. Okay, ready? Let me... Where's the... hold on. Let's just turn it around. Okay, hold on. So this is the pantry. Because, look, it says... Wait. It says pantry right there, which is pretty cool. And I'm trying to organize in here, like, my food, you know, zombie apocalypse, shelter, prepper, whatever. But down here, in the very end, that's the router. This is the culprit right here. That's the internet. Maybe it would do good to have a nice little reset. I don't know. What do you think, boy? What do you think, little Andy? So, yeah. That's, look what I got hidden over here. We got these bars over here that are pretty good. But also, look at that. We got some mac and cheese. This is one of my favorites. And then over here, these are the vitamins. These are like a multi-vegan vitamin, which is it's good to have your vitamins, especially in today's day and age. Vegan Essentials. It's got everything you need, and it's a revamped taste, so it's even better. Anyway, what do you think, buddy? What do you think, buddy? Let's go. Let's go the other way. So yeah, all these rooms down here. So if I were to, it's a mess in here. Do I really want to go in? But anyway, this would be, if I can't use the office downstairs, this would be it. It's like really small. So it would be a lot more cozy, but hello. The Shining, the hallway. Am I going to trip over a dog? The answer is decidedly so. What's up, guys? What up? What are you guys doing? Playing? Yeah, I put this screen up here, so it didn't burn the rug, but as you can see, there's a little bit of embers going down there. And somebody sent me this. I'm not sure what the company is, but it was in an envelope, and then when you open it, a bunch of these were flat in an envelope, and when you opened it, they both turned into cubes like that, and a bunch of confetti went everywhere. So anyway, this is my setup right here. Got the tripod, got this, and anyway, here we are. I wonder if I can still see the comments here. Oh, Zeke. We did all that. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that if I was down on my other one. Do I think my house is haunted? Melissa wants to know. I have nothing that would make me think that this house is haunted. There's a lot that would say that my other house is haunted. The one I just moved out of. But not this one. My place is pretty clean for a guy. I just moved in here, so I'm trying to organize, and so I'm trying to make it nice and clean because the other place had so much clutter. I'm trying not to do that with this one. Did the doll move? Don't do that to me. Where's the camera? Over here. That's why I hate looking into the phone, because it's like, you know what'd be scary is if like I was doing this and like you guys realize that there's somebody pressing their face up to the window right there behind me. My brain always tries to think of like the scariest scenarios, and it's like, wait a minute, hold on. And they're like, no, don't scare me. I'm like, well, just think about this. What if? And then they're like, no, The doll is creepy. Can I rig my house to be haunted during a live stream? I could. I'm not going to say I haven't ever thought about doing that before. I've got videos that weren't rigged that were pretty creepy, actually, if you look at my Halloween ones. Would you say I'm a neat freak? No, I'm not really a neat freak. I try, but it doesn't always work out that way. Like, I don't like things dirty. Like, I definitely like you'll never find like wrappers and stuff like that. I threw everything away and all that kind of stuff. But like, I got a lot of stuff and there's like clutter, and I've tried to be neat. if I could have everything neat all the time, I would, but I feel like it doesn't always end up that way. Like right now, I got a lot of stuff that I don't want to just throw away, so I got to find places to put it. And right now, it seems like the only place is there's an attic, but it's like it's kind of dangerous to get up to the attic that I have. I was up there yesterday just to kind of, I went up there to peek in, and there's two things that they left there. One of them is just a little space heater, and the other one is an entire box of Louisville Sluggers. So, I don't know. Maybe they're worth something. I don't know. If not, I got some defense. And I found a practice samurai sword here too that was just sitting down there. Kind of looks like a piece of the wood to the house, but it's not. Believe me, I used to train that stuff, so I know what it is. Cynthia, no. He didn't pee. Oh yeah, I don't want rodents or bugs. I don't want any of that stuff. I want to put my place. I do want my place to be nice and clean. Like we've got this little cordless vacuum that does, like, my dogs shed so much. They have so much hair, they shed everywhere. So you literally got to vacuum. At least you should do it like once a day, because you start to see all this hair clump up everything. It was really bad at the other house. It would just get in the stairs, get in like the corners of everything. And but now there's like carpet, and at the other place there was really no carpet. There's just like throw rugs everywhere once in a while. How long have we been on? Almost 2 hours? No, Linda. They both went out before I went live, but Zeke was stubborn and he only did one of the potties. And I knew he needed to probably stay out there, but he didn't want to. So I started the live stream, and then he's like, let me out. Do I clean or do I have someone else clean? I usually clean. I'm not the kind of person that wants, even if I could afford it or anything, I wouldn't want like somebody coming to my house and clean it. I'm like really private, and I wouldn't want somebody coming here and cleaning it. Even if I was like a millionaire, like I wouldn't probably have anybody come over to clean my house. How many people have owned the house I'm in now? I don't know. I think just the people before us. Maybe somebody before them, but they've owned it, I think, for 36 years. So I don't know. The house that I own, only one other family owned it. Come on, sit down now. You gotta be good. Come on, sit down. I'm trying to be live. I'm trying to be alive. What are you doing? What are you doing? You just went out. You're being really weird. My dog's being weird. My dog is possessed. He never does this, literally. What are you doing? No, we can't do this. We can't do this. You need to get down. I don't know what he's doing. What are you doing? No. Can we go sit down? Can you wait? Literally, you've done everything. What is your... I don't know. I have no idea what he's doing. He's definitely photobombing. Maybe he just wants to... Do you want to play? You want to play? Play with him. Can we play? Can you go play with him? Get your toy. He's got his toy. I'm keeping the other house and renting it. I was thinking about selling it, but then I was like, no, I'm going to keep it, rent it. You want a bagel now, thanks to my video? I had another one today. They're so good. What time is it? Ooh, I still have time to go to Wegmans, but I'd have to leave like in 10 minutes. But I don't know. Do I really want to do that? You like that? Linda, have you had a bagel like that before? That's how you eat a bagel. That's so good. you guys are, that dollar is really getting to you guys. I have no idea where that dollar came from. Sometimes dead is better. Ah. Well, now let's see if I can show you what he's doing now. He's being cute. Look at that. He's got his little toy in his hand. It's the dog. Oh, now he's not being cute anymore. Come on. Go sit down and be cute. Vegan bagels from Queens. Yeah, there's the New York City bagels are so good. The Wegmans bagels that I grabbed are so good too. They taste very much like the ones I had in New York. I used to go there all the time too, and they have like all these different vegan bagels and all these different vegan cream cheeses that they made right there. Like they had plain, they had scallion, they had strawberry, they had vegetable. There's so many, and they just toast up those bagels for you and load it with the cream cheese, wrap it in like some parchment, and there you go. You got a nice, authentic New York City bagel. I know I don't say bagel right. It's hard for me because I've always grown up saying bagel. And everybody's like, it's not a bagel, it's a bagel. But I like have to think and like really try to say it right. You guys are making me hungry for a bagel and I don't have any more. All out. So you guys like the style of the videos I've been doing with the vlogs. Basically, I'm trying to show something new about the house, and I also incorporate like something vegan that I eat in the day, and you know, just some other things. Usually the dogs, usually something to do with the, you know, bringing in the firewood or making a fire in the fireplace, or you know, something like that. So. Yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything specific you want me to focus on or something. Give me some ideas too. Like that'd be great. Maybe go to one of the videos and comment and stuff because I can always see those. Like these comments go by pretty fast and you don't really go by and look at these again because you got to look at it in live just to see it. You've always wanted to go to Trader Joe's? You've never been there? Yeah, we don't have a Whole Foods here, but we definitely have a Trader Joe's. Heather says bagels are my favorite food. Yeah, I don't feel like I have to perform. I just go out and I do whatever. Like walking around the perimeter of the property of the house or showing you guys things that I'm looking at for the first time or whatever. It's just easier like that. It's like there's simple edits, and I feel like that's what people come to YouTube anyway for. They don't come to YouTube to watch like Hollywood edited movies. They come there to watch like I don't know, somebody that they like to watch or some like learn how to do something or you know, I don't know. We've been live for quite some time tonight, so I understand how many people we even got on. Wow. Mike, what city do you live in? Did you already tell me? I think I asked earlier. Maybe I didn't see your answer. The backyard doesn't really light up that much. There is like that one little light, but it doesn't really do too much. Just lets you see a little bit where the wood is. Um, but I have a pretty big spotlight that I just got to hook up to where basically where I couldn't see anybody's comments. Did I lose connection? Could you guys see me when I went outside, or did everything stop? I guess that's because I couldn't get I couldn't see anybody's comments anymore. Cynthia, that's so true. That was the same for me. When I was younger, I didn't like cream cheese at all. I remember there was bagels with like Philadelphia cream cheese, and I would try it. I'd be like, oh, I don't like this. But then once I went vegan, I really liked it. Like, there's a lot of different cream cheese out there, and to this day, Tofutti is still the number one. It's the oldest one. I started eating it like 20 years ago or so, and and it's still my favorite today. But I started talking about all the products that Tofutti has or had at one point that I feel like a lot of people, especially newer vegans, have never seen. Let me see if I can like think of a bunch of the ones they had. So they had a scallion, onion and scallion, I think, cream cheese. They also had a strawberry one, which I think they might still have or whatever. They had the equivalent of, do you remember Elio's pizza, those frozen pizzas? They had those pizzas and they were super, super good. I would always get them when this is more than 20 years ago. I would get them and I put them in the toaster and like, oh, so delicious. Oh, that's another company. But anyway, they also had these, do you remember those? They had chocolate ones, but they also had strawberry, like little, all like almost like strawberry, like white and red crumbs that would go over like a strawberry crunch ice cream bar. They had those like where you could buy from the ice cream man, but they had the vegan ones, and they had the chocolate one, and they had the strawberry ones. They had the Tofutti. I think some places still have them, but very hard to find. I haven't seen them in a long time. But the Tofutti singles, cheese slices, they had the American and the cheddar. They had, I think, 3 flavors. But they had those, super good. And like these were like super old too, like way back before Daya came out with the first shreds. Yeah, I think the cream cheese is the number one thing for the Tofutti. But they had so many different things. I wish I could find their pizza. And it's not like they went out of style because it was bad, or the other ones today are better, because they still stand up. They're still really good. Like I would mow that down right now. And just because it was so old, like they nailed it back then. Good Belly or Gold Belly? Oh wait, did Mike tell me where he was from? What city? Because I didn't see it again. If he did, I don't know if he did or not. Oh, the connection was sketchy when I went. Oh, you're from Sydney. That's right. I think I remember you telling me you're from Australia. I was actually thinking that, but I didn't want to say it if I was wrong. The Violife cream cheese. Yeah, it's okay, but it doesn't beat Tofutti for me. Oh, of course, the Tofutti cuties. They had, from what I remember, they had the vanilla, they had the chocolate, and they had the Neapolitan. They had the mint chocolate chip. I think 4 flavors at one point. And the sour cream is really good. That's probably the best vegan sour cream I've had. You're in a small town between Albany and Utica. What's the name of the town? And if you don't want to say it, you don't have to, but I wonder if I know it. The pumpkin cheesecake with Tofutti. Kelly, no, I never plugged any of those lights in, but I did grab a bunch of stuff. out of my garage at my other house today, and one of the things that I grabbed was a couple of my extension cords. So, you know, I know it's probably not the wisest thing, at least to keep it plugged in the way they have it right now. But I do want to try to turn it on and see if it lights up. You know, I'll probably plug it into that first before I plug it into the house, just to be safe. I've got a history with electricity, as some of you know. And apparently, I've got a past history with, like, relatives, too, which happen to be the same age as me, too, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, I know Canon Jahari. Stop it. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You never do this. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you even doing? Dude, what are you doing? Okay, I don't know what his problem is, but I think I'm gonna have to go. This has been fun. It's actually, I think it's a little bit more fun that I was able to do that right up here with you guys, and kind of walk around and have a different background, creepy doll, instead of downstairs. So, all right, well, yeah, that's it, I guess. Have a great night. If you haven't already, be sure to go check out my latest videos. Hopefully the algorithm will push them better than the last video and more people will get to see it. And leave a comment and a thumbs up. I think all of those things help the algorithm. So I got to go. I don't know what's wrong, but I got to go. So have a great night. Watch out for zombies. And, oh, wait, it's going to take a second because I got to figure out how to stop it on here. What do I do? I don't even know. I don't even know how to end the stream from where I am. Maybe I just, this? Oh, are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes. I'm not really sure, but